Morning, good morning, good morning. It's somewhere in July, after the 4th of July, 6th of July. Just saw the Jurassic Park Dominion or Domination, whatever it is. Uh, don't waste your money. It's a little bit worse than Maverick 3. It's like Rocky, or like this guy with the fingers that had all the slashing, Freddy. They can only stretch his genre out so far. So, and in the world we're living in, I imagine if you were 8 years old, 9 years old, 12 years old, um, you might believe this kind of stuff. And what you don't believe is that you don't believe in God and you don't believe in the devil, because mankind is going to pull himself out of these situations that we're in. And it's an interesting way that Satan works. He mankind discovered the motion picture industry, and Dr. Maslow tells us psycho-cybernetics. Whatever we see and hear, it stays there, stays right up here. And I mentioned before in my study of hypnosis, it does. It's all right there, but you don't. You have a hard time recalling it back in. It's all right. It's all right there. All your rough spots that you don't want to think about, and the things that you'd love to think about is what you usually do think about, and that'll get you. That'll it'll arouse your emotions now. And they're studying. People are studying. I just picked up another book by a fellow named Lawrence Gonzalez, and tremendous book on how the mind works and the survival techniques for animals and for human beings. I think I've mentioned before that we are animals. In the secular sense, we're animals, and in the biblical sense, we are animals. I want you to go over there to Genesis, and I want you to prowl around in Genesis 1, about 27, 129, and it's the sixth day. God's not done with putting things back together after the war that he'd had with Satan, where he threw Satan back down to earth. Didn't kill him, though. Going to keep him around for a reason. Anyway, he throws Satan down, and then he's busy reforming the earth, because in the first, in the beginning, God created the heavens, plural, and the earth, and the earth became void and chaotic. Now that's a lot of fun. That's some information that some ministers have nowadays, but very few, very few. The science knows that mankind has been around for millions of years, or there were humanoid creatures before the ones that he created in Genesis 1:27 on the sixth day. That's where we find these tracks, sandal tracks beside the dinosaur tracks. It's a complicated kind of a situation, as they say. But anyway, it's an interesting thing that Spielberg, a lot of his themes, Raiders of the Lost Ark, things, they tend to be biblical, and people just don't, subliminal. Uh, yeah, he gives them an explanation, but And on the sixth day, after God was creating or putting back in order animals, and he said, "Oh, as like an afterthought." Now, apparently, he'd created the apes and the monkeys and the chimpanzees and the giraffes and elephants, but as an afterthought, he said, "I'll tell you what. Let's make man in our image." The image, Greek icon, you know. And he's okay. That sounds like a great idea. So he did. He made man, male and female, made he them. Wait a minute, male and female. Oh, weren't they? Wasn't that Adam and Eve? No, you know better than that, because Adam was by himself, didn't have a mate. There was no Eve. Yeah, that's disconcerting, isn't it? It boggles the mind. But I don't want to leave this movie because he said, but this special creature, humanoid, animal, uh, these special animals which he created, male and female, and they had the appearance of God, godlike. And he said, let them have dominion over them. And we do. Mankind has always had dominion over the animals. I mean, we tame almost everything in the world, um, from cobras to elephants. You know, whales, we can make them jump out of the water, and a dolphin. So that was the right thing. But his movie, he slides that in. It's Jurassic Park Dominion. Spielberg serves a certain purpose in life. I don't know what it is. That guy's, talking about somebody that has money. Uh, what good does it do him? He's guy's going to die someday, and then he'll go to his reward. But you as a Christian, do you think you came across me just by a fluke? No, no, no. I'm doing God's work, and you're drawn to me. You're drawn to me and my little quirks. One of my quirks was today, I found that hot coffee, you can clean your ears out with hot coffee. Isn't, it says, God says he'll confound the world with the more stupid of us. Yeah, okay. I'm going to keep these short and sweet. Don't forget, God, Christ, this rabbi, this young rabbi, this Christ that spoke with some authority. And that's why the Sadducees, well, we can't kill him right now because the people would jump us. So whatever he had to say, it made them mad. But apparently the people were saying, yeah, I think it sounds like a good idea. So you got to worry about, you don't have to worry about what he didn't say, but whatever he was saying, you have to concentrate on what was the news, what was this good news, this Spiel, the German word. What was this good news that he brought that started spreading? It spread out through the Roman Empire. Of course, Satan immediately got some yahoo to start to tinker with it, tweaking it. I could tell Paul was sort of a tweaker. He wasn't there when most of the good stuff was going on, unless you want to talk about stoning Stephen. Paul was right there for that one. That SOB, crying out loud. Anyway, Paul, I call Paul the tweaker. All right. So anyway, the only reason we go to the movies up here, I live up here in the mountains. We only got one little theater, but on Tuesdays Senior people, we get a discount. You know, for six. I only paid $6 for this damn thing. I took the wife along. I didn't have her stay in the car like usual. It's a good thing she doesn't have her hearing aids in. Anyway, I'm having fun today. I'm having fun working for the Lord, and I am working for the Lord. If I can lead you any, if I could make you more comfortable uh, nowadays, I can have one of these. I watch several survival. I'm lucky, you know. I've got 31 years in the military, 17 of that in special operations. So I've been to every damn survival school there is, except for one. There used to be a really good one. Clark Air Force Base used to have one, or that area, you know, Ceviche, out there by the barber shop. You know, say, "Como está acá?" You know, Mabudi. You know. There used to be one in Malaysia, and that was a really good one. That was one of the best. But I could digress. Survival now. Are we going to talk about your spiritual survival? And are we going to talk about your physical survival? Well, God has told you to survive. I mean, how are you going to go out to the lost sheep of the house of Israel unless you survive? Now, you're going to survive if you stay as remember that movie God is my co-pilot. Well, you be God's wingman, and you stay right in there. You stay real close, okay? And I'm going to see you next time, guaranteed. If the creeks don't rise,